Alright guys, welcome to a new video on the channel, and as you can see here, I have my KASHTIRA deck here in some specific pile that I want to talk about, and yeah, I got 49 plays out of 512 players in the regional, and I've been playing KASHTIRA for the last 3 to 4 months, and I felt like together with Craig Smith, a huge shout out to him, I've kinda come to the conclusion of the deck, how it should be played, etc. So I just want to get to the deck profile really quick and then talk about some of the specific cards because I'm gonna be taking a step away from KASHTIRA for the foreseeable future and concentrate on other decks, for example T-Elements, which is my favorite deck. So yeah, but I still want to talk about one last bigger video about the KASHTIRA card and how I feel like the deck should be played. So yeah, let's talk about the main deck first, and then the extra deck, and then the side deck, and the hand traps and whatnot. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll put the extra deck and side deck to the side, and these are just the hand traps, so we're gonna talk about them too. But let's talk about the KASHTIRA cards first. So obviously, we play 3 KASHTIRA Fenrir. This card is extremely strong. You banish Summoning Fate down. It's just a lot of good potential interruption, and it also puts a lot of pressure on the board because KASHTIRA is being played as an engine. So when you play pure KASHTIRA and you start with Fenrir, then people, they don't know if you are in pure cash or if you just use it as an engine. So theoretically, sometimes you only have less play and nothing else, but they do not imperm it because they're like, okay, you just get another Fenrir, but no, then you get Rise Hard and he's like, oh shit, I just let him full combo. So that's like one of the positives about Fenrir. And also just a really, really strong card overall. But yeah, should be played at 3, no further things about there. And then Unicorn. Unicorn is one of these cards that are just crazy to use. I absolutely love KASHTIRA Unicorn. It's really strong looking into the extra deck, and this mini game of looking into the extra deck and just, picking up a really strong combo piece, etc. It's so fun. And Unicorn is one of these cards that promotes interactive gameplay, in my opinion. I've seen some discussions on Twitter about wanting Unicorn gone. I really disagree with it. And yeah, it searches you KASHTIRA spells, whereas Fenrir searches KASHTIRA monster. So the spells that you can search with Unicorn are these 5, in my deck at least, because, I mean, there's more, but you play 2 Theodas and 3 Bursts. This is the ratio that has been established by Craig and me and many other KASHTIRA players to be the best ratio, because on Theodas you can brick and you don't really need Theoda to get into your whole thing, and Burst is like really strong anyways. So yeah, Burst also covers a lot of Fiendman's matchups. It covers a very niche matchup, etc. It covers so much. KASHTIRA Burst is one of these custom cards that is just absolutely broken. Whereas Theosis is just an extender per se. But Burst is so much more than an extender. So, yeah, those are the spells that you search of Unicorn. We'll get to them separately. But yeah, I just want to showcase this really quick about the ratio. Then we play 3 Rise Hard. This card, some people play it at 2, but I think it just should be played at 3. It's just a great extender overall. It rips cards from their deck fate down, and it's always some kind of gamble for them. If they can play through that or not. So yeah, Rise Hard, just awesome. You gotta be careful though of Domino's Impulse. If you special it from hand, and if they have Impulse and already an imperm in the graveyard, then the Rise Hard gets, it gets destroyed. What you should do then is you should normal summon just to be sure, and yeah. But yeah, Rise Hard, great card overall. Would not play it at 2 or 1. Then 1 Scarecrow KASHTIRA. This card has been phenomenal. I've thought about bumping it up to 2 or 3 even because of Tenpai, but Tenpai is not that much of a threat anymore because we can adjust our side deck and extra deck to Tenpai Dragon. Scarecrow, however, is still one of these cards that a lot of people misunderstand in the terms of how it works. You can use the defense for damage calculation stuff, and most importantly, the effects are negated of the monster that battles with KASHTIRA monster. So that's like the effect that a lot of people forget. And also it adds up for so much more lines and layers of play because we play Ogre and Preparation. And I want to talk about these cards really quick because they are absolutely phenomenal. Um, I have been, I have not been playing Ogre in earlier lists because the format was way too fast for that. That is the reasoning that I gave. And the format, while the format's still fast, it's more diverse. So you don't see Snake Eye, Yubel, and Tenpai for like 75% of the time. It's literally just 30% or 25%. Meaning the other kind of matchups, Ogre is actually great because with preparation, even though it's a little bit too slow, in some matchups, and not even some, in like most matchups, this can offer you so much more layer than you're used to. And also, Ogre in preparation, they 1v9 Centurion. This is something you should be wary of, that you can either side against Centurion or you can just play Ogre prep going first and then you auto win every Centurion matchup basically. So this is worth noting. But yeah, I play Ogre prep in the one Scareclaw. Then for the KASHTIRA spells, obviously I talked about Burst and Theosis. So we only play 2 Theosis because we brick on it and you know, because it's just an extender. But Burst is one of these cards that is just the star of KASHTIRA deck. I've been getting Burst back so many times, and it was just so ridiculous. In the regional, I played against the Runic, Adamina Runic White Forest player, and he destroyed my Burst 4 times. And I activated the 5th time, and he was just like, oh, whatever, bro. And yeah, it was really awesome. Before you asked, I activated, he destroyed it, and then it in the graveyard, and you can banish it with Scareclaw, and then you can banish Theosis right hard and you get it back, etc. So that's what happened. So yeah, that's the ratio for the KASHTIRA spells. Then mandatory with the KASHTIRA engine and whatnot, we play triple planet Rathos and 1 terraforming, so 4 planets. Very important to play all of that. You need to see your unicorn at all times. So you get to your burst, because unicorn burst is just the sauce. It's awesome. And then from this, also I want to talk about planet before I talk about the next cards. I need to talk about planet really quick. A lot of people forget that it pops. Like, I don't know why, but I had people that forget that it's a pop with Shang, and that's also one of these upsides of the deck, I would say. There are so many hidden effects, or like not many, but there's just effects that people forget. Like planet attack, defense, a lot of people forget that for some reason. Some people forget that the pop, and stuff like that. So yeah, and also had some people, I mean, this should be common knowledge, but if you activate planet and they negate the activation, you can activate planet again if you have another one. So I had this coming up where I had like, where I had terraforming planet in my hand. I was like, yeah, that's kind of shit, but it's okay. Just for follow up, right? This, and then he negates the activation lab. I'm like, okay, sure. Terraforming, get another planet, activate. He's like, judge. I'm like, yeah, you can do that. So yeah, this is like a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff about this deck that a lot of people forget, and I think that's one of the upsides of the deck. Then mandatory, I feel like in this current format, Called by the Grave. Going second, you can get rid of the Promethean print that unfortunately is still a thing for fire decks. And also this deck sometimes is weak against hand trap because you only have 1 player or something. So Called by is really awesome in that sense. Also Called by is really strong against Yubel with the Phantom because it tributes for cost, and then you can use Called by in the graveyard. Same with totally awesome against Mermail and stuff like that. Or Telement if you play against it. Or Iria Silvera, the Omni Negate from the Adamina engine. It also tributes for cost, and then you can Called by it. So it's a really strong card in my opinion. Because you can let the opponent cook and then you have the Called by and you're like fine. Then there are some options for consistency cards in KASHTIRA. We used to play Prosperity. We used to play, some people play Desires. Some people play Extravagance. I saw that in the Cup of Bologna list. I feel like if you make the decision to not play Ogre in preparation, then it's a given that you should be playing something like Prosperity or Desires or something else. But in my opinion, if you play KASHTIRA Ogre and KASHTIRA Preparation, the best consistency card you can play is Sacred Sword of 7 stars. This has been carrying me through Bologna 3v3s, and it has also carried me through this regional. I say carried because I mean I still lost the 3 game, but you know I lost this game because of it was my fault. It was not the fault of this card. This card gave me 2 wins essentially because basically what it does it allows you to continue playing. There are so many hands where you end up with like a Fenrir and a unicorn, and you have these cards in your hand, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start with the unicorn, and he's like, okay, I'm using Ghost Mourner on that, and you're like, damn, right? You cannot just ship because your hand has like 3 hand traps and 1 Fenrir. But if you have swords, right, instead of 1 other hand trap, you can activate sword, banish this for cost. This is very important. Draw 2 cards from your deck, and then you can special the Fenrir and keep playing like nothing happened. And this can draw you more engine, more hand traps, whatever. So even if the unicorn negated, you can draw into burst Theosis, whatever. So this card is adding up a whole new layer, in my opinion, of plays. And it gets even more crazy if you look at KASHTIRA preparations, because this can special from banishment or hand. And you can already tell why it's broken, because you can activate Sacred Swords on a Fenrir, for example, and then set preparations, activate preparations, special the Fenrir. You draw 2 cards, whatnot. So I only play 1 Shangri-Ira in the extra deck. Reason being is if the Shang gets destroyed for some reason, what preparations allows you to do is, for example, you can special a Fenrir, use the Fenrir effect to get the Scareclaw. Scareclaw then is going to banish the Shangri-Ira to special itself. The preparation's gonna get the Shang back, and in the standby phase Shang can get you back the unicorn or something like that. So you have like infinite access to the Shangri-Ira unless it gets banished face down, just because of the preparation. So this is what I feel like it's really awesome, because it allows you so many like push through plays, whatever. But yeah, this is the main deck, apart from the hand trap that I'm gonna talk about now. And then this is the reason why I only play 1 Shangri-Ira, by the way, because I feel like you don't need more unless you troll. So yeah, for the hand traps, Diamond Shifter is still one of the strongest hand traps that you can play in KASHTIRA. The value will lower a little bit in the next format because of Malice and Radial, but it's okay. If you can play Shifter, you should, and in KASHTIRA you should. Then 3 Ash Blossom. It's still one of the strongest hand traps that you can find because it's so versatile against any matchup. And yeah, for the next 2 hand traps, I only decide to play 2 off, which is 2 Ghost Mourner and 2 Ghost Ogre. Reason why I play 2 is because I don't want to see them too often, and also if I play 3-3, I see them first of all too often, and most of the time also twice in the hand. For this, the same principle applies as for KASHTIRA Theosis, where I only play 2 Theosis, simply because of the fact that you can brick on it. And this is something you don't want on these hand traps. You don't want to brick on these hand traps. You still want to see them. This is the same like principle for Theosis. You still want to see the Theosis, but you just don't want to brick on it. So you play 1 less, and it has worked out tremendously well for me. Then for the last hand traps, I still play 3 Veiler because I feel like it's mandatory. And I also play the Omega in the extra deck you'll see in a second. And then the last 3 Imperm. I feel like this amount of hand traps is not enough. I feel like we could use 17 or 18. This is 16 right now. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I feel like we could use 17 or even 18, which could be like 3 Ghost Bear or some shit like that. But I feel like this hasn't let me down, and it worked extremely well in this regional. Again, I didn't win undefeated or something, but it was because of mistakes of my part and not because of the deck. I feel like the deck is very well designed. Then for the extra deck, this is very interesting because I don't play extravagant, so I have like a lot of room for a toolbox. And the first option for the toolbox is Utopic Future and Utopic Draco Future. These cards are absolutely amazing for grindy games and also to clear, close out games. You just break apart the enemy board and you're fine with this on board. Then 1 Typhoon and 1 Zeus. Typhon comes up against Fiendmas, because you can basically get rid of the Deathery without the Deathery removing your Typhon. So you maybe survive one more turn. This is very strong against after you try to break that board apart and then you end on a Typhon. And not only a Typhon, obviously something else too, um, but yeah, this has been one of my main ways to use a Dark Arm without materia if I cannot get into Utopic Draco feature. So if I have like a Fenrir, a Dark Armed, then I just make Typhon with a Dark Armed, put it on the grave, put the Deathery in the extra deck, and then I have Fenrir Typhon with maybe a hand trap in the hand. That's fine for me. Should survive next turn and then win off the crackback. Then yeah, Zeus is really good against Fiery King because it doesn't destroy, it's just sent to grave. So I want to include that, and it hasn't let me down. It was really nice. One Blaze, ruler of all dragons. I want to thank Craig here and give him a special shout out because he incentivized me to play this card. And ever since he did that, I loved this card. And I can wholeheartedly recommend this card to everyone playing KASHTIRA. It just makes an easy Zeus. It's just a really strong card overall, and I can really recommend it. It's just really, really strong. And a lot of people forget the second effect in the grave, that you can banish a dragon or fire monster, like to revive him, and a lot of people forget that. It's really fun. Then for board break approach, I played not only one but also two Dark Armed. This worked tremendously well together with the Utopic Draco feature because you can make Dark Arm destroy 2, Dark Arm destroy 2, go Utopic Draco feature, go battle, destroy 1, and then you destroyed 5 like card basically. It's really, really strong. Then for Tenpai, I had a special approach. I was like thinking, how often do I end on Baguska? How often do I make the double Wraith hard to make level 4 plays? And the more I did think about it, the more I realized it doesn't really come up that often. So I argued with a Tenpai player, and we came to the conclusion after a lot of playtesting that in most matches, I can still push through 1 or 2 hand traps if he doesn't draw the strong hand traps that like interrupt me completely, like Domino's Impulse or something. And a lot of Tenpai players also have some amount of board break in their deck. So I decided to play 2 Dark Armed, not 2 Dark Armed, I played those 2, but 2 Flare Metal to specifically counter Tenpai Dragon. And to my surprise, it has worked very well in Bologna, in the 3v3, and also in this regional that I just played. So this is an approach that you can only do one single time against an enemy, because once they see that, they know how to prepare against that, obviously. But Flare Metal cannot be destroyed when he has Exceed Material. A lot of people forget that, and that's why this is a very bulletproof proof against Tenpai, because they cannot out this unless they pay 8,000 LP, and then they just die. Next we play 1 Dracosac to out skill drain, and also to go in some other niche combos, but I don't do that, so I just use it to out my own skill drain or the other skill drain. Then 1 Big Eye for the mirror match, which I unfortunately lost. Shout out to that guy. Yeah, Big Eye is just a string card that doesn't only come up in the mirror match, but also in like other matchup. But a lot of people use KASHTIRA cards as engine. So if they have a Fenrir on board or a Unicorn on board, you can just make Big Eye, take the Fenrir, use the effect, and then go full combo. That's really nice. 1 Shangri-La, I already talked about this. We only need 1, and if it get like killed or something, we can get it back with preparation. So that's like no problem. It also comes up. Then 1 Omega. The Omega is purely to play through with the Vader. You normal summon, like you special Fenrir. Fenrir gets impermed. Normal Vader, make Omega. Effect Omega hand loop, special Unicorn. Go full combo. That's like the idea about Omega, or like around Omega. Then 1 SP. SP comes up in niche situations where you just need it. And also, I really like the combo between Omega and SP, where you get the Omega back in your standby phase, and then you can just make SP and banish another one. So it's like, if you don't want to hand loop the enemy once more, you can keep this on board, push for damage, and then main phase 2 make SP, banish like some card from him. It's really awesome. And then the last card in the extra deck is Haggard Leatherdos. It's another way, it's just like Omega to extend further, to keep playing because this deck lacks the resources of removing bodies from the field. Um, so yeah, Haggard just does a really great job of letting you keep playing this game, which is what you really need, I feel like. But yeah, this is my extra deck. I think it's one of the most well-rounded extra deck. The only issue, I guess, is that I do not have level 4s, e.g. Baguska, but it has never really become an issue for me. I guess you can side deck it if you want to, if you feel like you need it, but it hasn't come up for me in every game. That in any game that I played in Bologna, it hadn't come up for me it hadn't come up for me at all. And you know, I'm a mass guy. If it doesn't come up for me, I'm just gonna cut it. This is what happened. Then for the side deck, obviously you already see this card here. I played 3 Molchami Fuvalos. Again, most decks, this is just a turn ender because they can literally not like go into that much, because otherwise they just give you too much draw and too much extension. And it's a side deck card, so they know what you play already. And I feel like this is what KASHTIRA does really great, and this is why Fuvalo is also a side deck card. In Bologna, I main decked this card, and it has not worked out that well for me. Bologna was still very fine. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the deck list that I played there, but it was just not that good because of Fuvalo in the main deck. I really feel like if you don't have an efficient way to use this in your own like archetype, for example, as a discard cost or something, then you should not main deck it. It's a really strong card, but yeah. Then I decided to play 2 Molchami Perulia. I want to give a huge shout out here to Linos, who lent me these for the event. I'm gonna give him back. I'm gonna give him the back in 2 weeks or something. But yeah, huge shout out to Linus for lending me those. Perulia, I only played 2 of it because I feel like we don't wanna like going second. I wanna max out on all Molchamis. But looking at the decks that I played against before the regional, I realized that Fuvalot has more impact. So I wanna max out on the Fuvalot, but I also wanna have Perulia for some matchups. But again, I didn't fit this in the and I just went by mass. And Perulia is a good card, but yeah, this ratio was really nice. Talking about next ratio, 1 Feather Duster and 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This is one of the most normal ratios, I would say. Yeah, but I don't have to explain anything. Back row hurts for you. This is really strong against Fire King Island. It lets you skip a whole wave of interruption and interaction, which is really great. And then for the going first cards, I decided to keep the Anti-Spell in once again, simply because it covers just too many matchups. It's just impossible. It just covers too many matchups. If you go Anti-Spell, you side out most of the spell cards. So yeah, except Cold Buy, obviously, because you don't use this in the first turn, but if you draw together with Cold Buy, you have like Planet and they Ash it, you Cold Buy the Ash, and then you have Cold Buy used already, or if you don't use it, you can set it, and stuff like that, and then that's really chill. Then, the most broken card in KASHTIRA, in my opinion, in the side deck, is 3 Solemn Judgment. This card is phenomenal. It allows you to push through board breakers, it allows you to survive, it allows you to negate the summon. It's just an awesome card overall, and I cannot wait to play it in other decks, I'm being honest. Then one Skill Drain, I thought for one of the last bigger tournaments where Snake Eye has an impact, Skill Drain is a card that I need. And also against Tenpai, it's really good if they don't have back row removal. And this actually won me a game together with the Rivalry against the one Fairy King Snake Eye Azamina player. Yeah, that was really great. And Rivalry is obviously good because you can just end on Shangri-Era, Unicorn Fenrir, and Ogre, and they're all Psy or Psychic. So yeah, that side deck felt very good because of the amount of ratio that I have going first. And Cosmic can also be considered going first card, but it also can be considered going second. And what I usually did against most matchups was literally, this is also a thing that I like a lot about the deck, the side deck patterns. If you have one Perulia less, then it allows you for like some really nice side deck patterns. For example, 3 Fuvalo, 2 Perulia, 1 Feather Duster, and then you get rid of the cards in the main deck. For example, one Race Heart going second is not that great. Sports of Sacred Doors is shit going second. I mean, it's not shit, but it's good. But you wanna, in most matchups, you just wanna get rid of it and stuff like that. And if you don't side the anti-pill, you side in again, going first, etc. So it's really great. I really, really loved playing with this side deck. I think it's one of the best iterations of the side deck that I had playing KASHTIRA. So yeah, again, shout out to Linus for lending me those wonderful quarter-century Perulias. But yeah, that is really about the deck, and I don't think I have to explain more. I just want to talk about really quick about one of these like normal like bread and butter combos I would say that you can do, and also what's like really strong point about the KASHTIRA deck is that you see these two cards in your hand. No matter what your other cards are, you know what you can do. And this is, I think, one of the strong and weak points, obviously, of this deck. With every combination of cards, you know what you are about to do, or like what you can do. Which you have this, you know what you can do. And so the deck is somewhat limited in the ceiling, but it doesn't matter because it's still very strong. So if you have Planet and like Burst Unicorn, for example, this is full combo, obviously. And the end board usually looks like a Unicorn grabbing a Theosis. Then you activate the Theosis to special a Fenrir. Then you activate the effect of Fenrir to get the Race Heart. You special the Race Heart. You banish the KASHTIRA Ogre. Then you activate the KASHTIRA Burst that you already hard drawn. You activate the Burst to special the Ogre. Ogre gets you Preparation. Then you can activate Planet to get the Scareclaw, and then you have full combo. I mean, this is full combo, obviously. And with this, you use the Race Heart and the Fenrir to go into the Shang. And then this is basically your board. You have the Shang, the Ogre, the Unicorn, the Burst, the Planet, the Preparation, the Scareclaw in hand, and 3 other hand traps, like 3 other cards in hand, basically. No, 2 actually, because we hard drew the Planet. But still, this is basically full combo. You have a potential 5-zone knock with this. In the standby phase, you get the Fenrir back. And what I had one feature match, by the way, and I saw like some people in the chat saying, oh, he saw Lightning Storm, he still put the Unicorn attack mode, what a noob. The reason why you do this is because you need to give your opinion like some kind of options, right? Like, okay, you have Lightning Storm. Do you want to get rid of my Unicorn and my Ogre, or are you going to get rid of Burst, Prep, and Planet? And, you know, if he has a Lightning Storm and Raigeki, then he goes into Lightning Storm this, Raigeki this, but then the Shang and stuff is still there. So it's up to him, right? But with this, you give him a chance to think about. And if the enemy had to decide, it's always a good thing. But yeah, this is the end board that you usually try to make. With this, you have a lot of plays, obviously. If they get rid of your Shang, you can use the Scareclaw to banish the Shang. Preparation, get back the Shang. And then the standby phase. You can special the Fenrir again if you want to. There's so many options you can do with the deck, and it's really awesome. It's obviously not, you know, a big combo deck like Snake Eye, but it has really given me a lot of joy to play this deck. I will put it to the rest for now, for the foreseeable future. In the German Open, I'm gonna play Tearlament. But yeah, if you wanna see more videos about me theorizing with KASHTIRA and whatnot, I would love to do that, to make more videos on this deck. You know, I love this deck with a passion. But again, I'll take a small break from this deck. Thank you for watching. I want to give some shoutouts here. Shout out to the KASHTIRA Discord. There are some people that are not that smart, but it's okay. Most of them are very wonderful people. Shout out to Greg Smith. It was a blast talking about him to like with KASHTIRA and with KASHTIRA cards and whatnot. Shout out to my boys at Sakura Moon in my locals, Yannis and Connor and Tristan, lovely people. And shout out to all the guys that I met at the regional. Shout out to Ben Kreuzkamp for talking about my Bologna list and stuff like that. And yeah, shout out to the boys at Münster. Shout out to again Linus for lending me those wonderful fuvalos. The Puruliets, the fuvalos are mine. With my own money bought. But yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, until then, I will see you at the German Open while I'll be playing Telements. And I'm going to talk about my Telement deck in a separate video, obviously. But yeah, thank you for watching. That was a longer one. I just want to make it very slow and very chill because it's going to be my last video about KASHTIRA in the foreseeable future. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.